most men live their whole life under the thumb of women. Essentially, they make almost all their choices in life based upon how they feel that women will respond to it. It's a lot what dictates what career they'll choose, what type of clothes and outfit they'll wear. A lot of men don't even exercise or work out for good health or even for themselves, but they do it to look, to have an appealing body to the opposite sex. And most of what how they navigate through life is making choices that they feel will help raise their sexual market value and become more attractive to the opposite sex. And now, that can be good in some ways. It can be a motivator and it can give you drive, but a big problem with that is that you're not acting truly from what you would really want to do with your life. Say for example, a big passion of yours is you have a collection or a hobby, a weird hobby or something that you really enjoy that you could potentially make a career out of, but maybe it's kind of dorky and it probably wouldn't be as cool as going and pursuing a career as a lawyer or a doctor or some other position where you got a nice title, a job title or something like that. Then you probably won't choose the thing that you really like doing, and you'll go choose the path that will give you the good title, the sex appeal. And that's the problem with that. A lot of times you don't necessarily wear the outfits and the clothes that, or the attire that is the most efficient. You'll get name brand clothing just to, impress women even though you can't afford it, and all kinds of other, ridiculous things that men will waste their money on and get into debt to. And I even believe that's so much so that it has a lot of it's a driving factor in what causes a lot of men to become alcoholics and consume alcohol and drugs so much as they do. For example, a lot of dating, going on a date, it's very common that it's to drink in order to calm yourself and to relax and to be more yourself, or you go to a party where there's going to be women and you want to be able to fit in. You don't want to be so socially awkward, and you want to potentially meet a mate and become attractive to other women at the party or at the bar or the venue, and so you drink. And what happens in just being like a once in a while type of thing, you go out this weekend, you're hoping to meet a good girl, and you don't. The next weekend you go out and you do it again. And years go on, you're just going out on the weekends, and before you know it, it's a part of your life. And before you know it, you may not be a raging alcoholic, but you become like pretty much everybody else in society that can't even enjoy the weekends without drinking alcohol. That's how I used to be for a long time. It was like the weekend came, I had to drink, I had to, get all messed up and everything. And a lot of that stemmed, when I look back, stemmed from my I wanted that white picket fence lifestyle so bad. I wanted to be attractive to women. I wanted to get a really good girlfriend and get married. But I just struggled so bad at attracting women, and I was, but I kept going out on the weekends. Every time, I'd look forward to Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, going out to the bar, hoping to meet a good girl, and and it never happened. It would go out again, and just like every other guy, you'd go out, you'd meet girls, you'd have dates, but obviously they weren't what you thought they'd be, and you kept trying, and all of a sudden you have this habit of drinking. And like I said, you might not be a raging alcoholic, but you've over the years you've accumulated a lot of bad habits. And so what has happened, what I've experienced, is since I've gone my own way and let go of the fantasy of feeling like that let go of that fantasy of needing to have the white picket fence lifestyle and get married and all that, where it literally used to be a goal of mine to get married, and I wanted it so bad, and finally, once I had realizations due to a lot of common things that men experience, from heartbreak and your love's cheating on you and leaving you and this and that, all of a sudden I just realized that my own common sense, my intuition told me to go my own way, and so since I've been going my own way, my life has improved in so many different ways, and one of them has also been that I live my life sober now. I don't need to I don't, it's funny, today is Friday, and typically I would be going out on a Friday drinking, trying to practice my pickup and meet girls and things like that, but I don't care about that, I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'll stay in, I might stay up working on business and projects that are meaningful to me, that I care about, that bring me juice in my life, or maybe I'll watch a movie. I know the Cobra Kai 2, I think, is coming out this weekend. I loved the first season, so maybe I'll watch that. I think it comes out on Sunday, so but I don't need to, because I'm not out worrying about chasing women and picking them up. I live my life sober. I don't need to go out and drink and all that, and go into the bar scene and all those things like that. Not knocking anybody that does, hey, whatever. If you can do it in moderation and that's how you enjoy to spend your time, that's fine. But I think that as you start to go your own way, you start to realize, you start to experience new levels of freedom, because you no longer require to hold on to these bad habits that were unnecessary, like buying expensive clothes to try to impress the opposite sex when you don't need that. You can just wear, whatever you want to wear, something that's comfortable, or you don't need to get the outrageously expensive car. Just get whatever you want to get that you can afford, and that's efficient and a good car. You realize they don't need to have the giant mansion, the $1 million mansion on the water and everything like that. You're fine with whatever, living in an apartment or a condo, because you're not worried about impressing anybody, keeping up with the Joneses, or it's just what you want. And and you work out for yourself, for your own health, and you eat healthy for you, and so it's a sense of, as you start to go your own way, you start to as it goes through the different cycles, you start to achieve a sense of freedom that's a piece that's hard to explain. You can't put a price tag on it. Obviously, in the beginning, you go through the typical roller coaster of emotions and everything, but now I live my life with such a calm, stable sense of peace and happiness that it's priceless, and I love it. And I look around the rest of the world and I see the insanity of how much people aren't really living in true alignment with what they truly want and how they truly are. I know they're making choices just to impress the other person, to make them happy, and it's now that once you break free from that matrix and you see it, it's almost kind of comical, and it's kind of at the same time disheartening. Like, wow, you just realize how asleep society still is and everything, and a lot of it isn't even your fault. It has to do with conditioning, of how we've been conditioned through television and through movies, through our upbringings, through school, through society. So learning to go your own way, becoming a man going his own way, is a lot of freedom in realizing that you are enough, that you don't have to be, married or in a relationship to be complete. It's a big lie that we've been taught to by society, that you're never going to be complete until you get married or you're in a relationship, like something's wrong with you. That's how I used to feel. That it was like, gosh, if I was single, then something was wrong with me. Some part of my life was missing. But now I feel complete, and it's the ultimate sense of freedom, knowing that I am enough. I'm complete. I'm good now. I don't need anything more. Yes, I'm a driven person, and I have a lot of goals, and you guys know that from my channel. I'm always growing my business, but it's different. I'm not doing it to get this flashy lifestyle to impress anybody. It's just because it's what I enjoy, and it's my passion, and I'm doing it for me, not to impress women or to impress anybody. And I know I am complete now. I know that I don't need to get married or anything like that. I'm totally fine the way that I am now, and that's why I guess saying it's such a beautiful sense of freedom in learning to be learning that you are enough and going your own way, breaking free from the bondages of society, and making you feel like you're never enough unless you get into a relationship and you get married, and that you always have to keep up with the Joneses and put everybody else first, put women first above you, put everybody else first, and put yourself last. No. I think there's nothing wrong with putting yourself first. Putting yourself first, because society teaches us to essentially always put ourselves last. And there's such a great sense of freedom when you finally learn to put yourself first and do things for you and make choices that you want to do for you. So that's all, guys. Until next time, have a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year. Let's make it a great life. See ya.